At first this evening, if you've watched people ride a bicycle down the street with what seems to be uncommon speed and ease, those folks have probably been on electric bikes. There may be no one in Maine who is a bigger cheerleader for e-bikes than Dave Cohen, who recently moved here from Vermont.
Cohen is a professional therapist, and he is also the director of a program aimed at increasing the use of e-bikes in Vermont, a program sponsored by that state's transportation department. We sat down with him in South Portland at the Lincoln and Maine Electric Bike Cafe and Winery, no, we are not making that up, to talk about what he sees as a hugely important new chapter in the way people get around. You see the electric bike as a real game changer, don't you? It's going to make the potential for bicycling far different from what it was just 5 years ago?
It already has. I mean, if you go out to the Greenway here, in Portland area and South Portland, you'll just see, especially during the weekends, but even during the weekdays, people riding cargo bikes with electric assist, people riding commuter bikes, e-assist. They can go further, faster, and in this hot weather like today, perfect kind of solution for kind of reducing the sweat.
Cohen has encountered waves and waves of skepticism, and he knows all the objections. He says electric bikes address those complaints and more.
This is another question I'm sure you've heard from skeptics over and over and over until you're sick of it. But what do you say to people who say, hey, Dave, November to March, I don't want to be out on a bike in the winter in Maine?
Yeah, again, you know, you're going to have a certain group of people that are going to do it. And electric bike enables you to kind of travel, again, further and faster, so you don't get as cold. There's actually just greater control in bad weather. In Vermont, I say, we're Vermonters. You know, people go, they go, you know, snowshoeing, they go, you know, snowmobiling, they go skiing, and they've got all the gear. Going by bike during the winter is a thrill. It really is.
In Vermont, you were hired as, in effect, a bicycle ambassador, someone who would promote the use of bicycles for the transportation department in the state.
Yeah.
How has that worked out? Do you think you've made an impact?
Oh my God, yeah, today I had like 6, 7 people contact me. 3 of them on cargo bikes, the other ones are commuting. Every day I keep on getting more and more. And we just got a state subsidy, $400 for low-income households, $250 if you don't qualify for that. We also have rebates from our utilities that are $200. So there's like all kinds of excitement happening.
It's a long process to win people over. But do you feel that you're making headway and that you're really seeing a change on a scale that's going to make a difference?
Oh my God, yeah. When I first started out in Vermont with this project, you know, people would look at my cargo bike, which was a big bike and had an e-assist on it. People would go like, that's an interesting figmajig with a doohickey on it. Now they go, oh, it's a cargo bike. It's a long-tail cargo bike. You have a mid-drive motor. Even like their knowledge base has shifted. That's an important thing. People can actually identify what it is that they're actually looking at.
Electric cargo bikes, that's not a misnomer. These bikes can really haul a lot. We're not just talking throwing a baguette in the basket.
Yeah.
They can carry hundreds of pounds easily, right?
And kids, cargo. Surfboards. I've carried things you just wouldn't believe, you know, furniture, refrigerators, and literally having a blast doing it.
Cohen says cargo bikes are just one part of what he calls a revolution in technology in this field, with breakthroughs coming at an unprecedented rate.
Belt drive, where you don't have a chain anymore. It's kind of just a belt that doesn't need to be lubricated. Internal gearing, so there's no derailleur or gears. So you've kind of almost eliminated maintenance.
For any product to achieve mass popularity in this country, it has to be reasonably priced. Are e-bikes at a level now, or will they be even more so in the future where, yes, they become something that will be in virtually every garage, every home?
Oh, I definitely think so, and that's already starting to happen. But it really is upon the states and municipalities to kind of really help this along. If you look at what's going on in Denver, they're offering $1,200 for low-income families to be able to buy an e-bike. If you don't qualify low income, you get $400. But if you want to get a cargo bike, they'll tack on $500.
How would you say the state of Maine is doing in promoting the use of bikes in general, maybe e-bikes in particular?
I think Maine is pretty far behind. Maine is just behind the curve at this point.
Cohen says perhaps the best way to get people to try e-bikes is to make the experience free.
So it's really the experience, letting people take out a bike for 2, 3 days or 4 days. We now have an e-bike lending library in Brattleboro, and there's actually e-bike lending libraries in other parts of the state.
So you're kind of like the vendors at the supermarkets. You're out there with free samples, in effect, saying, here, give this a try.
Try it out, see what it's like, see how it fits into your life. Most people come back elated,
Peer into your crystal ball for me, looking out 5, 10, 20 years. How much of a change are we going to see in Maine, in the U.S., in terms of people adopting bikes?
I think you're going to see some really big changes. And I think the cargo bike is actually one of the kind of real generators of change because it's parents. It's already starting to happen. It happened in Paris. Paris was not a very bike-friendly city. It's been transformed over the past few years. Partially because of COVID, but a lot because of the electric bikes and cargo bikes and just the sheer numbers of people riding.
I had no idea that the cargo bikes could haul so much. I mean, when he talks about furniture, surfboards, refrigerators,
right.
I had no idea.
That's exactly what I thought too, but I will say, if I'm having to tote a refrigerator up a hill, I want to do it on an e-bike, not on a regular pedal bike, because that sounds like quite the job.
Yeah, indeed. So, well, about the prices, this is obviously key. There are e-bikes for less than $1,000, but that really, or even higher, is pretty much the starting point. Obviously, do your own research, but that's sort of a starting point, although the prices will go up. But they're really intriguing, and they're going to be part of our future. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Yeah, we'll have to think about.